Solo Leveling is hands down the best action anime I've seen in a while, and the latest season just went ahead and proved that even more. But before I jump into telling you why this latest season was such a masterclass, let me just quickly remind you all what Solo Leveling is all about, with a quick little recap of season 1. Well, Solo Leveling follows Sung Jin-Woo, who is undoubtedly the weakest hunter in all of mankind, until he ends up getting absolutely fisted by this giant god statue thing and became a player. Then throughout season 1, he uses this new player system to become a super ripped Giga Chad and gain more and more power, until he eventually earns the title of Shadow Monarch, where he can spawn silly little dead people to help him achieve his ultimate goal of saving his mother's life. And that pretty much covers all of season 1 in the dumbest possible way I could think of. But now that we're all caught up, let's talk about this season. And oh my god, what a season it was. I mean, I thought season 1 was good, but this season just kept feeding us like we're good little piggies. And it was undoubtedly an anime masterclass. And I know the term masterclass is a big word to throw around, especially considering that I personally don't think Solo Leveling has the most thrilling story at its core. And realistically, the protagonist is basically just an aura farmer because he's such a fucking goat. But I seriously think that it is a masterclass, and it had me hooked the entire way throughout this season especially. So what is it that made this season so good? And well, the most obvious thing is of course that animation, because let's face it, it's just so fucking clean. I mean, like, I was watching some of the fights this season and my eyeballs felt blessed, but they also kind of hurt a little bit because I quite literally don't think I blinked whenever a fight scene was happening, because they were all just too fucking awesome. But the other thing that really stood out for me this season and made it feel like a true masterclass was actually how much better the story felt this time around. And I know that seems weird to say considering I just said the story isn't the most thrilling thing literally 20 seconds ago, but I do think the story definitely leveled up this season and it was a lot more enjoyable to watch in my opinion. And a lot of that is because we got to see a lot more growth for Jin-Woo this time around, or at least it felt like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, this fucker was OP by the end of the first season, but Jin-Woo by the end of this season makes season 1 him look like a little bitch. It's actually insane the amount of growth he has and the way they make him obtain this growth. Obviously, I don't want to dive too much into specifics in case someone hasn't watched this season and just clicked on this video because they think I'm handsome or something. But the quests he gets, the fights he takes, and the general progression he has as a human being was just extremely satisfying to watch. I mean, I don't know, maybe I just can't remember much of him from season 1 because I do have a small brain. But this season, it felt like he became more comfortable with the power he has and mixing in with other people, and I can't wait to see more of that, especially with Cha Hae-in, who I have to say is unbelievably fucking hot. I mean, if she had longer hair, I'd honestly be sitting here telling you all she's one of the hottest 2D women I've ever seen. But she has like shortish hair, and she still might be one of the hottest 2D women I've ever seen. And her fight scenes are just so fucking cool. So if you couldn't already tell, I absolutely love her and I want to see more of her and how she's going to grow should we get another season in the future. And I'm pretty sure we will, but honestly there's been so much waffle around when season 3 of Solo Leveling will be, I don't even know anymore. But we're going to put that aside for a second because you're probably wondering what I'd rate this season out of 10 if I truly think it's a masterclass. And for me personally, this season is getting a very solid and deserving 9.2 out of 10. The production quality, voiceovers, consistency and clean as fuck animation, character designs, and what felt like a step up in terms of the story from season 1 is enough to prove that it really does deserve that high rating of a 9.2. I mean, I quite literally can't think of any negatives from this season apart from the fact I've heard that the pacing in particular might not feel great if you're someone who has read the source material, but I'm someone who hasn't read it yet and I can safely say this shit is a fucking masterpiece regardless. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and please let me know your thoughts on this season of Solo Leveling if you've seen it in the comments below. And if you haven't, go watch it and then come back and let me know later. And since all of you guys are going to go ahead and comment, you may as well go ahead and just tickle that subscribe button while you're down there. But as always, thank you all for watching, and remember to feed your goldfish, pet your dog, and tell your family you love them. Peace the fuck out.